Danielle Smith is the Premier of Alberta. She joins me right now because I want to put the question to you about addictions. Every community, every province across Canada has problems with addictions, fentanyl, and with parks. People taking over parks and living there, knives and hypodermics, and everybody's saying safe injection sites. You have a different plan.
Yeah, we're going the opposite direction. We had an encampment problem that began to grow because of COVID, and an overdose and addiction problem, obviously, that grew because of COVID. We were seeing record numbers of deaths just after COVID ended, so we realized we needed to take a different approach. What we have done is we call it our Alberta recovery-oriented system of care. It begins by saying anybody who wants to have an opioid replacement, Suboxone or Sublocade, can get it immediately, no cost.
Right.
We have therapeutic living units in our corrections facilities. So we've got inmates applying to be part of a program that will get them clean. When they're released, we have recovery communities that we built out in the community. You can stay up to a year to make sure that you get connected to a job. And we are also going to, with our next step, we're calling it our compassionate intervention model, so that we're going to order people into care if they're causing harm to themselves or others. That's going to be coming in the spring.
Now, there are going to be some judges, some people who will take that to the court, say you can't force someone to take treatment against their will. The charter prevents that. Other jurists say, you know what, that's a bad decision. And you should be able to force people to take treatment rather than have them out in the street with the knives and the hypo and the illegal drugs.
We're prepared to make the argument. The charter also says you can restrict people's rights if you're reasonable, if it's proportionate, and if it's evidence-based. And that's what we're going to do. We've provided the evidence already that our recovery model is saving lives. We just announced a 53% year-over-year decline in deaths from last year. We have a 51% decline in deaths from people who are leaving our corrections facilities after going through the recovery program. There's the evidence. And we're just not going to sit back and watch people kill themselves. We believe that we've got to give people another lease on life, and that means ordering them into care.
And yet some people, and I've heard this as recently as yesterday, say, well, you know what, that's a very cruel way to deal with them. We'd just rather have them give them drugs and sit it out. And they say the Alberta model is very, very tough. You may say it's tough, but it works.
It is tough, and it does work. And I guess the point that I would raise is I know that the safe supply advocates, they're using that language. There's no such thing.
It's not safe.
There's no such thing as a safe supply of high-powered opioids. What happens is people get addicted, and then they go on to more and more potent products. And then ultimately, if you're exposing yourself to fentanyl, there's a very high risk of death. And so we know that when somebody's in the throes of an addiction, all they're thinking about is where they're getting their next fix. We need to be able to get them into a recovery community so that we can get their brains healthy, so that they're able to go on to a path of independent life and get that new lease. That's what we're looking to do.
Sounds like something we should do with some politicians as well, but I know you're not meaning that. Thank you very much, Premier. 3 minutes.